Alright, hey, HadesOmega here, and we're gonna finally build battery crate number 2, alright? So in the last video, I did a show and tell video on the new BMS, alright? So the BMS that we're using is a 200 amp DALI BMS, alright? And it has a Bluetooth functionality. I will figure out how to use the Bluetooth stuff later, alright? But I'm just gonna install it, alright? It should be pretty much installed just like the last one, alright? That's all I did. All I did was install it last time, okay? I've got the battery sitting here. It's on the charger right now. It's been sitting here for like a week or two, alright? So the voltage has gone down a little bit, alright? So HadesOmega is trying to charge it back up, and at the same time the solar panels are charging the battery crate number 1, alright? It's charging up all the way to like 27 volts, so I'm trying to sync the packs, alright? I'm trying to get it as close to 27 volts as possible, alright? Because around 27 is when you're getting to a high state of charge, alright? And then I'm just going to plug them, when I get everything all built, I'm going to plug them in, alright? And whatever one is the higher voltage, we'll start charging the one with the lower voltage, okay? And then over time, you know, they should start to sync up. They'll start to balance on their own because they're in parallel, right? It's kind of like when you connect a jumper cable to a battery, right? The battery that's more charged will charge the battery that's less charged, alright? It'll start discharging the one with the higher state of charge, alright? But I'm trying to avoid having that situation where one is fully charged and the other one doesn't have a lot of charge, alright? So, I mean, it should be fine, alright? But I'm trying to charge it to 3.4 volts, and we're at 3.38 according to this guy. I don't know if you guys can read it, but it says 3.38 volts right now. I gotta charge it till it gets to about 3.45, alright? And that's about 27, so my bad, 27 volts, alright? So I'm charging it back up. It should charge really fast, alright? It should be already fully charged. I haven't discharged it or anything. It's just kind of just sitting around discharging itself type of thing, alright? But once that gets up to there, I'll start putting everything in the battery crate and hooking everything up. So what has to happen is we got to put the batteries in the crate, alright? We're going to configure it how we did battery crate number 1, alright? And then we're gonna get some foam, alright? This stuff here, alright? We're gonna get some of this foam and we're gonna use it as packing, alright? To fill in some of the voids in there, alright? But we won't put too much because we want good airflow going through the batteries, alright? And then we got to connect the balance leads, alright? And then we have to connect all this in series, alright? When we disconnect the batteries from each other, I will check the voltage of each one, alright, to see how good the balance is. Alright, so effectively what we're doing right now is we're top balancing, alright? So when you're charging it to a high state of charge, that's when the voltage will start to change a whole lot, alright? And that's when you know, that's the best time to balance the batteries, alright? Because one could be, if you guys know anything about the lithium iron phosphate charge curve, it's flat for a long time, and then when it gets to a high state of charge, it suddenly goes up, alright? So you could have one of those batteries still in that flat state of charge, right? And then you could have one battery that's already fully charged, alright? Then they'll be unbalanced, alright? And then when you charge the whole pack, it may damage it, it may overcharge that one imbalance cell, or it may discharge it depending on how off it is from the other ones, alright? We want it as close as possible, alright? The BMS should catch that though, okay? So, the BMS came with a little sheet of paper and it said you gotta top balance it before you connect the thing, alright? But I think it's okay, alright? So I'm not gonna, as long as we do a little top balance, I think it'll be fine. And then what we're gonna do when we're finally plugged in, we're gonna discharge the battery pack all the way, and then I'm gonna check the balance manually and then see if there's any of them that are off, alright? In my opinion, it's better to bottom balance than to top balance, alright? But yeah, you need to discharge it all the way to bottom balance it, alright? And that's hard to do. That's what I say, alright? Unless you hook up an inverter to it, alright? Okay, so yeah, let's go ahead and let's do it. So let's go for it. Okay, so before we get the party started, we gotta wait for this thing to fully charge again, okay? It's pretty much at 3.4. That we want is 3.4 volts, but when you disconnect the charger, I guarantee you the voltage will start to sag again. So I'm shooting for a 3.45 volts, all right? Okay, so we're at 3.4. We're gonna wait a little while. All right, we're gonna continue to top balance this. We're gonna wait to 3.45, and then we're gonna pull everything off, and then I'm gonna check the voltage of each battery. Okay, that's what's gonna happen. In the meantime, we're waiting for this guy to charge all the way. All right. All right. So right now it's at 26.9 volts. It's pretty much at 27 volts. All right, that's where we want it. And then I think I'm just gonna disconnect everything to it. But it's pumping 16 amps into it right now. We're kind of running. I'm kind of running out of sunlight. Is what's going on right now. All right. But let's see how much is coming in. Yeah, there's only like 500 watts coming in. It's towards the end of the afternoon, so I think it'll be okay. I think it may go into fully charged mode. All right. So when this becomes a solid green, that means the battery is fully charged. All right. I know if there's a lot of power coming in from this, and it's fully charged, it will freak out and it'll say like, oh, the voltage is too high, and then it'll just shut the inverter off, and it's so freaking annoying because I have to like babysit it. I can't let it get fully charged. All right, but I think it'll be okay right now because it's not charging a whole lot. It's only charging like 800 watts at the moment. All right, so anyway, we're at 26.9. Keep on chugging. It's at 94.7%. So I think we'll be okay for where we are, but I'll make sure and charge those other batteries. All right. Okay. In the meantime, I'm gonna go charge these conductors right here. All right. There's the P minus and the B minus. I'm gonna cover it with electrical tape like I did last time. Okay. Just so like I don't accidentally touch it with something. You know, I don't think it'll happen. But that's what I did with the last one. That's what we're gonna do with this one. All right. You can see they're quite exposed. It would be kind of nice to put like connectors on this. All right, I think this is just screwed in, right? Hopefully they're tight. Okay, something like that. Okay, looks good. Just the top part. And we're just going to build the battery pack just like we built the other one. Pretty much as identical as possible. There'll be battery crate twins. Now the question is, HadesOmega, could you have just made a giant like 8S 2P battery pack and just put them together? Yes, I could have, and I'd only need to use one BMS. But this way, I like this way because it's modular. I like it this way because it's modular. Okay. Okay, I've covered up the top there, so just in case I drop a screwdriver or something in there. I know there's still stuff sticking out of here. But okay, but that's what I did with the last one. I think it looks cooler too, like that. Okay, so let's start taking stuff out of this crate here. All right, we're gonna have to pick up all this stuff too. This is some branch connectors. All right, we're not gonna need that right now. That's solar panel stuff. All right, these are all the bolts for the solar panels and stuff. All right, we're gonna need this. We're gonna need these wires. This is the last thing, is we need to hook up this thing to we need to make the battery cables for this. Okay, so this is an important part right here. Okay, and then these are the end terminals for it. All right, if you remember correctly, we used a torch to do this, and I'm going to use a torch again. So, all right, let's kind of clean up this crate a bit. So the last one, what I did, okay, this one's going to be a little different. The last one, I put a board in there, okay, and I don't have a board right now. Maybe we can go put it in there later, but we're just going to lay I think this is stronger than the other one, so. We're just gonna lay. Let me go shoot this with some air. It's kind of dirty. There's some stuff in it. But we'll clean up the crate real quick. It's in pretty good shape. I've got the bolt that we're gonna use right here. Okay. This is the bolt we're gonna use to make the negative terminal. All right. Where we're gonna connect it to the battery monitor. Okay. So we're going to do what we did last time. We're going to drill a hole right here, all right, and then connect the terminal right there, and then bolt it down, all right? That worked like a treat last time, so we're going to do the same thing this time. Okay, So now it's nice and clean. I'm going to get a air gun and then blow it out. Clean it out a little bit. There's some like spider webs and crap in there. Okay, we've got close to 3.41 volts. All right, and we're going to go here. And so what I'm going to do is we're going to use this as a template, right? So I've got the batteries all laid out like this, okay? And there is like a filler right here, okay? So this doesn't jiggle around too much. And I think I use this. We're going to use this, all right? So I think if we just take this extra padding off, this is for the BMS, this is for the, we can use this as padding, all right? So that's what I want to do. I don't think it goes all the way up too. Doesn't have to go all the way up. Yeah, it's fine. Okay, so yeah, that's what we're gonna do. All right, I'm gonna take this extra material off, and it'll be really thin, and then we'll just stick it in there, and it'll pad the battery. Okay. Gotta be really careful not to damage the foam, though. See, I'm damaging the foam. It's glued onto there as well. Now what we could do is we could cut it. We could get a knife and cut it out. Okay, I think I got that out, but it took a big chunk of the thing with it. What we could do is fold it over too to make it thicker. Oh yeah, this is really thin actually. I don't know if this is gonna work, but I think this is what we used last time. Let me get a knife, and maybe that'll be better. We're making batteries. This is the second battery pack I made today, man. I've already made one for my scooter. Cut yourself, HadesOmega. Gotta cut away from the body. Away from your body. Okay, so for the other battery, I had a little table that I set the BMS on, so it sticks up a little bit. So that's what this is going to be. All right. So I'm gonna basically take all this part, the stuff that's where the batteries go into. I'm gonna take all this out, and then we're gonna use this as a table. I might have to cut it in like half. It actually almost fits in there perfectly, man. Almost. Okay. Okay, if I shoehorn it in there, it fits. So I don't really need to cut it anymore, but I think we need to cut it halfway. Yeah, let me get this BMS. So I don't want it to stick out that far. We want it to be like around there. All right. So just like that. Okay, so take it out. Okay, so yeah, we gotta pretty much cut it in half. Let's just cut it in half. Hopefully I can cut it straight down the center. HadesOmega is pretty handy with a knife, as you can see. Okay. I don't know if one is bigger than the other. We'll use it. Okay. Maybe grind it. Okay. That's how it'll go in there. The BMS will go like this. Just like that. Okay. Maybe yeah, no, it'll just be like that. It'll be a little bit crooked, so it's okay. It's perfect. That's how I want it. Alright. That's good. And then this will be on the side here. Alright, hopefully these batteries are the exact same dimensions as the other one. Alright, but this is going to go like this. Okay. Got it? So okay, I've got all the packing material ready for the crate, so the batteries don't move around a whole lot. Alright, and now all we got to do is put the batteries in. Alright.